the ancient kingdom of Tibet, situated high in the Himalaya mountains. Tibet is a culture based on compassion, totally at odds with the doctrine of the Antichrist. The spiritual and secular leader of Tibet, His Royal Highness, the Dalai Lama, won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1989 for his continued policy of non-violent resistance of the communist Chinese government, who illegally took control of Tibet more than 40 years ago. Tibet is being systematically destroyed by America's most favored nation, Communist China. Buddhist monks are being slaughtered, and there is wholesale torture of nuns and monks who defy the Chinese military and follow the pacifist, anti-war teachings of the ascended Buddhist masters.
My brother-in-law and I were arrested together and marched around in front of our village. Then the Chinese shot him in the head, and his blood splattered all over me. The Chinese said, "So you call for His Holiness the Dalai Lama and call on America for help. But where are they? Will anyone help you? If you obey China, your path will be smooth. If you don't, watch what happens to these two."
The Tibetan people are suffering immeasurably under the Chinese. Countless beatings and killings. And though the Chinese say there's freedom of religion, they don't allow us to practice our faith.
Tera dongja dansin hyo dijole kyang re do kyang ji jin dongja dan de kona kangbe le cha dan de cha ge yor wal ande kanje ji de de tanda ti ja de mo bu cha yin
cha de re ban de le de jo ma ni za le ge do si de ni na za shu jo le si a do ha do ha la de le do de za de le ge da yo do ala ande sa de le ma do ju se de le ma yo zai go le ja wa xue re go kan de na ge do go
de zu zi go na zi deng de
ja wa xue de ka jie jo
ja wa xue de ne ma ran bi su ge cha san ma ran bi jin de xia le yor wa xia le ti le ya jiang jia dang de na yi xia jin ka xie ge ja wa de mi xie yor ni da dan ne 봉들이 시지. 한 지레야 자와 휴시 지 나와 로균야도 지레야 자리 타고 딘데 bombutin데 두도 자시 미숨 서다 슈르. 한 진네디가 지야 수고 가서 로다지. 직 체면하나야 체면다 진짜 접전당서 여러 봐. 한 자와다 딘데 주시 님 숨을 좀 부탁합니다.
양 습제 줄을 봐지.
The Free Tibet campaign is a worldwide movement of volunteers who wish to highlight the illegal killings and imprisonment of Tibetan people.
Free Tibet!
The Free Tibet campaign displayed flags during the state visit of the Chinese Premier in London. The Free Tibet flags were confiscated by British police officers. The peaceful protesters were often arrested and dragged away for no apparent reason. Some were even assaulted and beaten by British police officers.
I'm not young, haven't got long hair in dreadlocks, and I'm not covered in rings all over the show. I've always felt strongly about Tibet and about what's going on in China on the political front. The fact that they've still got detainees in prison who were at Tiananmen Square 10 or 11 years ago, that is bloody awful, and something has to be done. And I think in a case like this where the government won't do anything, it's always down to the people to do something instead.
Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet!
The police officers carrying out these illegal arrests are mostly members of Freemasonry. Freemasonry is more than just a secret society. Freemasonry is actually a religion. Freemasons pray to a tri-pantheon god, one facet of which is the warmongering Baal deity. Freemasonry is the most popular occult religion amongst police officers, judges, and barristers, such as Mr. Tony Blair. The spiritual master and head of state in Tibet is the Dalai Lama, who has written many excellent books promoting the benefits of meditation and compassion. Even though the Dalai Lama is a man of peace, he speaks good English and is recognized for his statesmanship. He was refused an audience with Queen Elizabeth of Great Britain. However, the British royal family, who have members that are active Freemasons, greeted the leader of the murdering communist Chinese government with a full state ceremony. Clements Kuby and Mike Lemley are two filmmakers who have made excellent documentaries about the tyrannical genocide in Tibet. It is clear from these films that Kurt Weidemann of the Washington State Department utterly denies the evidence of genocide against Tibet.
Official U.S. policy has consistently regarded Tibet as a part of China, although an autonomous region within China.
My crime was that in 1959, I signed a statement saying that Tibet was an independent country. For that, I spent 17 years in Chinese prisons and concentration camps.
We have no evidence at this point that the Chinese government is engaged in any policy or in any actions aimed at wiping out the Tibetans, or in short, reflecting a policy of genocide either against the Tibetan people themselves or against their culture.
I mean, Tibetans are no longer wearing Tibetan clothes. Tibetans are not talking Tibetan. All the Chinese wear Chinese. It is the blue uniform, everybody. And the monasteries are no longer is a monastery. And no monks are there.
they used to have mobile clinics which would go from village to village and just get the women together and get them sterilized. Or even women who were pregnant in their 9th month were made to abort their children.